Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are back taking a look at a theme team in the Master League Classic. And in today's video we are taking a look at a triple Shadow theme team consisting of Shadow Dragonite, Shadow Snorlax, and Shadow Machamp. And this trainer is actually attempting to be, to my knowledge, the first trainer in the world to hit Battle Legend running only Shadows. So it's a very cool goal. And he's made it to Ace so far, so he is making some pretty good progress. So let's hop in and take a look at the team in action. Shadow Dragonite into Origin Form Giratina, great lead. They save swap Dialga and met by the hard counter of Machamp. And Cross Chop plus 1 counter is enough to take out Dialga. They're going to bring back in the Origin. And even though the Dragonite has a really good matchup versus Origin, to be 100% honest, you are going to want to line it up with the Snorlax, as Snorlax has an even better matchup. Brings in the Snorlax, catches the Shadow Ball, that does absolutely nothing, and the opponent has a regular Dragonite in the back. And so at this point, he can safely burn his Shadow Dragonite on the opponent's regular Dragonite, and this game is over. He does want to get the aggregate Dragon Breath damage, which I like that play quite a bit. And at this point, 100% shielding this up because Dragon Claw is going to do more than the resisted Shadow Ball, and the opponent concedes the match. So off to a pretty good start here. Negative lead in game 2. Save swapping into Shadow Snorlax, and is going to have to eat a Meteor Mash. Decides to shield it up, and met with a Dragonite. And Dragonite does have a pretty solid matchup here. It is a fairly neutral one, but with the shield advantage, Dragonite is going to be able to take this fairly easily. Lands the Dragon Claw, going for another Body Slam, and this does get the shield, and then Dragonite's just going to Dragon Breath down. This Dragonite does have loaded energy, which is tough. However, Shadow Dragonite can take one Dragon Claw, so can survive it, farms down, and now has a move, spamming to try and switch into the Machamp, and met with a Snorlax. So this is absolutely huge. Machamp is going to do exceedingly well versus the opponent's entire backline. Shielding up the Body Slam is a bold play. Able to farm down, which is huge, and the Metagross comes back in. The Metagross didn't have a lot of energy, so may be able to get to 2, which they are, which is huge. I think the Metagross is maybe 1 off. There we go. There is the charge move. That is going to be enough to take them out, but the Dragonite had a stored Dragon Claw that they saved, and that's going to be enough to take the game. So even against a very tough lead, able to get the win. And the leads are unrelenting in game 3. Able to catch what should be a Rock Slide here. Whoa, the opponent saw the switch and superpowered. What a play by the opponent. He timed it well, but I don't know how the opponent knew to throw a superpower there. Holy crap. That was... wow. Definitely going to wait out the switch clock. Coming back in with Dragonite. And if they throw after 5, which they do, which is the Surf, going to commit to the farm down and have a ton of energy. Now is a huge energy lead trying to swap, and they bring in the Machamp, and interestingly enough, they're staying in with the Melmetal. So that tells me one of two things. Either they have a better Dragonite counter in the back, or their backline is super weak to Machamp. They get farmed down, and it's a Togekiss. Okay, that makes quite a bit of sense. So they're just thinking they have a better Dragonite counter in the back in Togekiss. However, this Dragonite farmed down has a ton of loaded energy. Going for the Hurricane does massive damage, and able to Dragon Breath down and take the game. What a close game there. Alright, hopping into the next match here. Save swapping into the Snorlax. Definitely going to want to shield the Iron Head. And the opponent's going to switch out into Lugia. So probably trying to catch the superpower onto Lugia. Not quite able to. But unfortunately, Lugia will be able to overfarm by a decent amount. And Lugia can take all 3 Body Slams with absolute ease. Third one comes through. And this Sky Attack is going to be enough to KO. Lugia hits very hard. This is tough. Yeah, you definitely try and farm down with Dragonite, which they were able to do, and switching out into the Machamp and met with, oh no, and met with the Origin Form Giratina. Okay, this is going to be tough. Definitely has to let this go. Potential win con is maybe farming this the whole way down, but the Dialga has 2 shields. Calling the Ominous. Oh, call the Ominous. That's huge. I'm still not seeing a win con here, but he did everything that he could to try and give himself a chance, and unfortunately gets farmed down. So a loss, but he played very well despite being pretty well countered throughout. Great lead here with Kyogre. Safe swap into Dialga, met with Shadow Machamp, and they just quit. Hey, that works, right? Mewtwo, this is a tough lead. Mewtwo hits like an absolute truck and will ever so slightly outpace the Shadow Dragonite. Psystrike, oof. But as you can see, Dragon Breath adds up exceedingly quickly on Mewtwo, and able to catch the second Psystrike. I really like that play, as nothing on this team really wants to take a Psystrike, but the Shadow Snorlax can take it a lot better than any of the other Pokemon. Groudon comes in. Groudon probably, Fire Punches here? Farms down? Yep. Fire Punches, farms down. Nice play. Groudon is loaded on energy. You definitely have to bring in the Dragonite after waiting the Switch Clock. Although the Switch Clocks are off kilter, so you may be able to take advantage of that. This will be Fire Punches for days. Can let that go again and try and farm down. Ooh, that is big. That is big. Dialga, Machamp. And they try and bring back in the Mewtwo, and unfortunately, they just get countered down. Going for the Cross Chop, that gets the shield going for a second one. However, the Dragonite does have loaded energy, so even though this is going to get farmed down... Oh, they actually throw! Oh, okay, this is big. Letting it go, can come back in with the Shadow Dragon Claw. Is this going to be enough? It just barely is, and that's enough to take out the Dialga. So Dragonite is a Dialga counter confirmed. Another Dialga lead. Safe swap Snorlax met with a Kyogre. This is not a good matchup for the Shadow Snorlax, as Waterfall is just so oppressive. As you can see, a charge move hasn't even landed yet, and it's already almost at half health. So it is just so incredibly oppressive. Going for another Body Slam. That is going to get it low, but in the Zero Shield, Kyogre does comfortably take it. This will be interesting. Does decide to come in with the Dragonite. I like that, recognizing that the opponent would get to a Surf and making the Surf go on a Pokemon where it would be resisted. Oh, and their whole back line is weak to Shadow Machamp. Oh, this is absolutely huge. Cross Chop lands, and this thing should hopefully be able to just two-shield its way through the Snorlax. Can hopefully farm down, which it can. Oh, this is massive. This should be game over. As Shadow Machamp is going to be able to apply a ton of pressure, and Shadow Machamp does outpace the Dialga. However, the Dragon Breath is really adding up, so this is going to be actually closer than I thought, down to the wire. Shielding it up, going for it all. They actually switch into the Dragonite to go for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw lands and takes them out. So very interesting play there, shielding up the Machamp for later. Another rough lead with Mewtwo. Nice little bit of lag there to start, so not quite sure what the counts are. Looks like Dragonite may have gotten a little extra energy. Shout out to Go Battle Lag. At the current moment that I am recording this, ooh, sniped it with a lick. Very nicely done, and baits out the Dialga. At the current moment that I am recording this, Go Battle League is actually down for 4 hours due to server maintenance. So here's hoping they fix some of these problems, because yikes. All right, Snorlax gets absolutely whooped, but he is going to come in with the Machamp, and they have a Giratina. Unfortunately, did not wait the Switch Clock, so he is stuck in here. So a bit of a mistake by this battler. Shields up, going for the Rock Slide. The opponent doesn't have to shield, but they do, which I think is definitely a mistake, because they knew the Dragonite was in there, so there's not really a point in preserving health. I mean, you can get energy off on this Dragonite, but that's not an excessive concern. The energy would have probably, the health on the Dragonite would have probably been better used by the Dialga farming it down. So that play, by shielding a move they didn't have to shield, really ended up costing them the game. Melmetal, another really rough lead. Going to try and catch. Unfortunately, the opponent sees it coming and is probably going straight for the superpower, which they do. They get the shield. Second superpower coming through, so the opponent is throwing their energy and then more than likely bailing. Actually, they're staying in, which really surprises me. Body Slam gets the shield, and now they're coming in with Mewtwo. So I definitely don't agree with that decision. Maybe they were going to try and catch a superpower, but either way, just not the best play in my personal opinion by the opponent. Gonna come back in with Dragonite. Ooh, very nice job counting and throwing before they got to the 5 Psycho Cuts there. and aggressively spamming the Shadow Machamp. Ooh, tell me they caught a Rock Slide. Oh, huge Rock Slide catch. Machamp is absolutely tearing through right now. Shields up the superpower, and it's a Dialga in the back. Needs to get to these 2 cross chops. First to get the shield, second to do absolutely massive, super effective damage. And on 1 HP, gets to the move that takes out the Dialga. Melmetal, it's a race, able to get to the Dragon Claw, and that is going to be enough to take out the Melmetal. So a very close game, a lost lead, but able to clutch it up and take the game. Another absolutely terrible lead, switching out, baiting out a Kyogre. Again, as we've seen, this is not a great matchup for the Snorlax. However, if the Snorlax is able to get this through unshielded, then do you shield and try and flip switch, or do you let this go? It looks like they are electing to let it go, and then just get some farm onto the Dragonite after they wait out the switch clock. Dragonite will probably be hit. Oh, actually didn't get hit by a move this time. They bring in Dialga, and they switch in the Shadow Machamp and met with a Groudon. This is not a great situation for this Machamp at all. This is going to be very tough. Calls the Fire Punch, which is huge, but even the Fire Punch does so much to Shadow Machamp. You hate to see it trying to switch out of there. Unfortunately, switch clock is not quite up yet, so having to go for the cross chop, that does take them out. But this is a very healthy Dialga. You just have to get to the 2 Dragon Claws. A mistake by the opponent throwing a charge move there, unfortunately cannot quite get to the 2 Dragon Claws needed. But if you're the opponent in that situation, since you can't get to 3 moves, you really do not want to be throwing charge moves. Safe swap Palkia met with a Snorlax. Palkia is so glassy. You have to respect the Draco here. Yep, nice shield on the Draco and able to fully farm down. Let's see if they do bring the Groudon back. I'll be curious. They do bring the Groudon back, so very interesting. Because even if Groudon farms up a ton, Groudon with a ton of energy still doesn't do great against Dragonite. Letting this go, it is the Earthquake. I like waiting the clock here, and now coming in with Machamp into Dialga, and it looks like it is unfortunately just a hard counter situation. You hate to see it. It's the Groudon double Dragon line. Very interesting line. Shields up the Iron Head, fully farms down, and now has a cross chop ready for the Groudon. Groudon's going to shield it up, but unfortunately Dragonite has the Dragon Claw loaded. So unfortunately just a rock, paper, scissors match in that particular game. Alright, hopping into the next match here. Kyogre, another great lead. They're actually staying in, so they may be double weak to Dragonite. Going for the Dragon Claw, looks like they let a waterfall through, which hurts for sure. Kyogre is probably just going straight Blizzard here, I would imagine. Oh, nice bait. Nice bait. They built up where they had to respect the bigger move. Switching into Snorlax and able to lick down. That is absolutely huge. Dialga comes out, but Dialga without shields is going to get absolutely bodied by this superpower. Even though it's non-stab, it hits so hard. And at this point, oh, they're actually shielding it. Interesting. And they're going to try and lick down. They bring out a Togekiss. Unfortunately, with the debuff defense, I don't think they're able to get to 2 body slams here. Oh, they do. Oh, I was mistaken. Shadowlax bulkier than I thought. Bringing in the Machamp and able to get to the rock slides, even though his remaining Pokemon really don't do well against Togekiss, still able to handle Togekiss and take it out. Into the next match and picking up another rough lead versus Melmetal, tries to catch the Rock Slide with no such luck and is going to get hit with back-to-back superpowers. Definitely shielding up the first one, as the second one will do less after the debuff. And this is definitely going to take it below half health, and the opponent comes in with the Zekrom. However, the Shadow Snorlax has an absolutely massive energy lead, is going to be able to apply a ton of pressure onto this Zekrom, as this is going to get it very low. I don't think the Zekrom can farm down, and they get nervous and throw. This is huge, because now the Dragonite can come in and farm down without having to take a move. Waiting out the switch clock down to 2, coming in with the Dragonite. Melmetal comes back in, switches to Machamp, and met with a Dialga. So what these battles are showing me is that Shadow Machamp is very underrated in Masters Classic. There's a lot of steel types in Snorlax in the meta, and Shadow Machamp can absolutely body them when it has shields. So Shadow Machamp may be worth the investment. Gets the shield from Dialga, able to farm down. Melmetal's still in back though with energy, so this is tough. This Rock Slide will not KO. Is Hurricane going to be enough? It is a Shadow, so it does extra damage. Very close and able to farm down and take the win. Hopping right into the next match. Ho-Oh on the lead. This is a good lead for Dragonite. Just have to watch for the Brave Bird. This was 3 Incinerate, so this is the Brave Bird. Shielded up there and probably throw after the second Incinerate. So very nicely done there. And this Dragon Claw does KO. They bring in Dialga. So best bet. This is probably, the fact that they stayed in with Ho-Oh means they're probably ABA weak to Dragonite. So maybe a Giratina Origin in the back. So definitely going to need to burn the shield here. But if it's Giratina Origin, then, which it is, perfect. Then Snorlax is just going to have an absolute party. Because Shadow Ball is going to do absolutely nothing. In this situation, if you are the Giratina, you do want to go for the Ominous Winds because your only hope is a boost. Shadow Ball, as you can see, does absolutely nothing. Like, not even a little bit. So, if you're in this situation and you're the Giratina Origin, I mean, it's rough. You're probably going to lose. But if you are, go for the boost because that's going to be your best shot. Again, it's taken like quite a few Shadow Balls and just able to fully farm down. Togekiss lead absolutely horrible. Safe swap Snorlax met with Dialga. This is really rough because even if he wins Switch here, nothing on his team that's left can really kill this. So I do like the idea of going for the bait here actually. And then going for the superpower so he doesn't debuff himself. Lands it and able to flip switch. Okay, this is good. And they bring in Groudon. So this is going to be very tough. You definitely want to put the Dragonite. Ooh, catching a move onto the Dragonite. So wanting to preserve the Snorlax, the Togekiss comes in, and Togekiss is going to be able to farm down. Since it's a Shadow Dragonite and it's Glacier, it's not going to be able to get to the Hurricane. Shields are down, so here you bring in the Shadow Machamp, and you just absolutely have to shield and get to the Rock Slide. This is now the win con. Rock Slide or bust. Able to get to the Rock Slide, which is huge. Shadow Machamp is a Togekiss counter confirmed. Groudon comes back, but unfortunately Groudon does outpace. Oh, and it looks like the battler cut right into the next battle, so we're met with another bad lead and met with a Mewtwo on the counter swap. This is not the best answer to a Snorlax safe swap, as with a bit of an energy lead, it's going to be able to get to 2 body slams and really threaten this Mewtwo, so Mewtwo will have to commit a shield if they want to win Switch. However, the Snorlax can just shield this once, and they should be able to lick down and still maintain Switch advantage, and be really close to a superpower for Dialga. Dialga comes back in, superpower does get the shield, but now they have the alignment that they want. Shadow Machamp comes in. Shadow Machamp will have to shield here because the Iron Head would do an absolute ton. And then it depends what they have in the back. It's the Giratina Origin. That makes a lot of sense as to why they came in with Mewtwo, because Mewtwo isn't a great response to a Snorlax, but it's a lot better than Giratina Origin. Since this is the Shadow, a Shadow Ball does KO, building up. Ooh, a Cross Chomp won't kill here, which it doesn't. Able to farm down, which is huge. Oh my goodness. I got worried there for a moment, but still able to take out the Dialga. And the final match, another Melmetal lead, swapping on 5. Unfortunately, no such luck. They bank the energy and they come in with Garchomp. Okay. Calling the first one, Sand Tomb. Nice call there. And this Snorlax has a ton of energy. They're going to be able to start unloading the body slams. Gets a shield. Probably have to shield this one, right? No, shields it, and it's a Sand Tomb. Whoa. And then this one's another Sand Tomb. So the Garchomp refusing to throw the Outrage. He's like, I don't believe in Outrage. Me and Outrage have a feud. Never. I may do a lot of things, but no, sir, I am not a thrower of Outrage. Do you call this and hope you just... No, you have to shield this. There's the Outrage. Okay. We had our fun, but you have to shield there. catching a Rock Slide onto the Shadow Machamp. Beautiful play. All depends what's in back. Groudon. This is going to be tough. Fire Punch does so much to Shadow Machamp. Lands the Cross Chop. I think you let this go and rely on Dragonite to close here. Lets it go. Gets some extra counter damage. Dragonite is very healthy and has a shield. So I think you let everything go from the Groudon and you fully farm it down. And then you just have to start attacking this Melmetal. Going for the... Ooh... The Hurricane lands, does big damage, shields up the Rock Slide. It's a race, but he's gonna get... Oh, he got there! Oh, I didn't think he was gonna get there. Dragon Claw taking out the Melmetal and giving him the win. So, all in all, a very cool Triple Shadow team. Shadow Machamp is being slept on in the Master League Classic meta. There's a lot of Pokemon that just aren't prepared to see it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new and you're enjoying the content, definitely hit the like button and let me know down in the comments what kind of spice would you guys like to see in future videos. And a special thank you to our members here on YouTube. The support in the membership program is absolutely insane. So thank you guys oh so very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.